You know, for years now, handheld PC gaming has been this incredible dream with a pretty serious catch. But what if a device came along that wasn't just another tiny PC, but a complete rethinking of the whole experience? Let's get right into it and talk about the ROG Ally X, this amazing collaboration between Asus and Xbox that might, just might, be the game changer we've all been waiting for.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll tackle the big problem that's been holding these devices back. Then, we'll see how the Ally X hits it head-on with some smart hardware and some really revolutionary software. We'll look at the beast of an engine powering it all. And finally, we'll ask the big question, is this the new gold standard for gaming on the go?
Okay, so let's set the stage here. We have to start with the fundamental challenge, the thing that has just plagued this entire category of devices from the very beginning.
I mean, the dream itself is so simple, isn't it? The idea of taking all the power, all the games from your massive PC library. We're talking everything from Steam to Game Pass, and just having it all in a device you can hold in your hands and play literally anywhere.
And this slide right here, this is where that beautiful dream just crashes into a brick wall. On one side, you've got this incredible promise, but on the other, you have the actual reality of fighting with a full Windows desktop on a tiny screen. Trying to poke at icons, it's an OS that's just burning through battery with background processes it doesn't need, and it absolutely was not built to be used with a controller. So how do you even begin to fix a problem that big? Well, Asus and Xbox did something really smart. They decided to start with the most obvious part of the experience, the actual physical device you're holding.
And they didn't have to reinvent the wheel here. Nope, they went straight to a design that millions of us already know and love, for one simple reason. It is just so incredibly comfortable. They took their cues from the classic Xbox controller.
And you can see that DNA everywhere. You've got these deep, sculpted grips that are perfect for playing for hours. The button layout, instantly familiar. There's basically no learning curve. But it's not perfect. It's really important to point out that the joysticks are not Hall effect sticks. That means they don't use magnets. They use physical parts that can wear down over time and lead to, you guessed it, the dreaded stick drift.
Now let's talk about the weight. When you see that number on paper, 715 grams, you might kind of raise an eyebrow. That sounds heavy for a handheld.
But here's the wild part. That number is totally deceiving because the ergonomics, the way it's designed and balanced, are so good, you just don't feel it. You honestly forget about the weight. I mean, we're hearing from people who've played through entire 4-hour flights with zero fatigue. None.
Look, having a comfortable device is crucial for sure, but that's not the real story here. The most important part, the biggest leap forward with this thing, it's all about the software.
It's this thing called the Xbox Full Screen Experience. And let me be clear, this is not just some fancy theme or a launcher they slapped on top of Windows. It's a totally different way for the device to run. When you power it on, you boot straight into a pure gaming environment, and it shuts down all the unnecessary Windows junk to free up power for what you actually care about.
And this chart says it all. A normal Windows handheld could waste up to 30% of its power on background junk. The Ally X cuts that down to just 10%. That means a whopping 70% of the system's power is going directly to your game. That is a massive difference in efficiency, and it gives you a huge performance boost.
The difference in just using the thing is, well, it's night and day. The old way was a chore. You boot up, you're squinting at the desktop, you're trying to find your launcher. Ugh. The new way, you hit the power button, you're looking at your game library. You pick your game, and you play. It's a console. Simple as that.
So really, what this gives you is the absolute best of both worlds. You get that slick, super efficient console experience and even better battery life. But because it's still Windows under the hood, you get 100% game compatibility, even with those games that have tricky anti-cheat. And hey, if you ever need it, the full Windows desktop is still just a click away.
Okay, so you've got this amazing, seamless experience, but you need some serious horsepower to actually make it run smoothly. So, let's pop the hood and see what's powering this thing.
And yeah, they are not messing around here. The specs are absolutely top tier for a handheld. We're talking about a brand new AMD Ryzen Z2 Extreme processor, some powerful new RDNA 3.5 graphics, a massive 24 gigs of super fast RAM, and a huge 80 watt-hour battery. And all of that is pushing pixels to a beautiful 120 Hz screen.
That new Z2 Extreme chip is especially cool. For the first time, AMD is using what's called a hybrid architecture. So you've got 3 super fast cores that kick in for those really demanding games, but you've also got 5 high-efficiency cores that handle all the lighter stuff, which saves a ton of battery life. It's incredibly smart.
So what does all that tech talk mean in the real world? Well, the performance jump is just staggering. In a really demanding game like Forza Horizon 5, when you push this device to max power, we're seeing it hit over 140 frames per second. That is just a gigantic leap over the last generation of hardware.
And get this. Here's the real kicker. Those incredible numbers, they're all based on pre-release software. The general feeling from everyone who's tested it is that as the software drivers get more mature and more optimized, the performance is probably going to get even better. So, after all that, we have to ask, is this the ultimate handheld? Let's put all the pieces together and see where we land. Okay, on the plus side, the list is seriously impressive. The software is a total revolution for this market. The performance is the best you can get, the ergonomics are fantastic, and the battery life is a huge step forward. But there are trade-offs. The screen, while great, is an LCD, not a fancy OLED. We already talked about the joysticks. And then there's the price.
Yeah, that brings us to the big number. At around $950, this thing is definitely a premium enthusiast-level device. This is not an impulse buy, right? It's a serious investment for someone who wants the absolute best portable experience possible.
And that really leaves us with this one fascinating question. For years, the race in handheld PCs was just about specs. Who has the most raw power? But what the Ally X is doing is basically throwing down a challenge. It's asking if raw power is even enough anymore. Has the goalpost just been moved? Is a seamless, frictionless, console-like experience the new benchmark for portable PC gaming?